Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome along to a kind of regular weekly dust-up that is the Studio Rats Q&A Live number 148. My name is James Ivy.
I'm Paul Drew.
And he's spinning
Right.
around. I'm good, mate. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling like I'm in the right time zone, on the right side of the planet, etc., etc.
Are you over the jet lag?
To be honest, once again, I never really got into California time. I got home and I was fine because I never really got into Cali time proper. I was still doing the awake at 3:30, 4:30 thing by Saturday evening or Sunday evening when I came home. So bit rough from that point of view, but that's part of the trick, really. It was good.
Good.
So in my absence, what have you been up to?
So I did the release for IK Multimedia for their Axe IO1, which is a nice little unit.
It's very, very nice.
It's nice, yeah. It looked just like really reasonably priced. It's $130 or something.
Mm-hmm.
It goes up to 192 kilohertz.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably most things do now, but even budget stuff, it sounds great. The latency is great. They've really got the drivers working. It's brilliant, really good. And there's a video coming out tomorrow. Can I show you something?
And
I did a video. Oh yeah, I did another video with. So when Lee came over, Lee Abrahams, who might be on a bit later on, because Lee lives near me now.
Yes.
Lee came over the other day and he brought that jet guitar over and he brought the Laney iLoud pedal over.
I'm going to say this.
Go on.
I didn't like it.
No, I didn't like it. But like when we plugged into your Laney Ironheart amp, it's like really reactive and it's brilliant. This thing just like it's just flat. So it's a shame. It really is a shame, but it's one of those things. It just shows you that Laney's valve technology is awesome, and their solid state stuff probably not so much.
Not so great.
But it's all an opinion anyway. And in effect, we were just using it. It was just a test on running it as a silent stage, so how it would sound, running out the DI out and stuff like that. And
we all know that speakers make a difference, a massive difference. Actual air moving drivers make a difference.
Yeah, but also, he's frozen. Hopefully, it's not me that's frozen. No. Yes, it is. But like when you plug, you can plug into a load box, and it still feels good. It still feels good, having the interaction, and but that just didn't feel good at all. It wasn't performing, which is a shame. And lastly, I've been having talks with Wilkinson, with Trevor Wilkinson, maker of loads of parts and stuff, like guitar parts and pickups and all that sort of stuff.
And the
Trevor's
legendary Wilkinson Trevor.
Trevor. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, bit of a legend. And so they sent over. They sent over the R series trem,
right?
Which I did a video. So the video shot is coming out tomorrow, and I'm going to do like a bit of a series of is it worth upgrading a custom shop Strat, something like that. I haven't got quite the title yet.
Yeah, interesting.
But really good. So look, the difference between like this and a normal Strat tremolo, you can watch the video tomorrow. Oh,
yep.
It's a push, and look what happens. Oh, it stays. Oh, look, it stays where you want it to stay. Unlike a Strat trem, and stays perfectly. It's absolutely brilliant. So I don't know what how he's done it compared to other trems. It feels like it feels like you're playing like a locking trem. It's that good. So
cool.
Very impressed with that. That's me done. What about you? Apart from that, what's up about NAMM?
Okay, so NAMM then. NAMM was good. And I kind of want to dispel a myth a little bit. So I think it's fair to say we were all a bit worried how NAMM would go.
Yeah.
No Roland, no Boss by definition, no Gibson, no Fender, no Pearl, no Yamaha, no big drum companies, no PRS, no DW, no, we're all going, how big's the show going to be if all these people aren't there? So it is fair to say the show was smaller.
Was it all in one? Someone told me it was all in one on one floor.
No. So you had hall A, B, C, D, which is the main, right? But only up to kind of halfway through D.
Oh, man.
Right. No hall E, because obviously China wasn't there in a big way.
Yeah.
Although there were Chinese brands there. That's neither here nor there.
Okay.
It's worth saying a lot of the major brands had meeting rooms, not booths. So UA had meeting space. They did not have a booth.
What, inside of the NAMM building?
Inside the NAMM thing.
Okay. Because you often see it where like people have hotel rooms and then they open up those hotel rooms as meeting rooms. Yeah.
So the AAC North, which is the new 2-level bit, only downstairs, not upstairs. So you were probably missing in total 3 halls worth of stuff.
Wow.
Maybe more because some of the upper rooms weren't being used. Like, for example, Fender, who would normally have their own room, Gibson likewise, PV likewise. So you probably say, let's say you were missing 4 halls worth of stuff. Say.
Right.
But what that did is it made the little guys have a lot more of the time, because you actually got round to see people and you got to see some interesting stuff, not just, oh, it's Gibson, oh, it's Fender. You got to see the companies that are actually innovating, because I think it's fair to say that Fender and Gibson, not so much recently.
Oh, I'm not sure about Fender. Mind you, Fender are getting slated at the moment for their quality control.
Right.
Gibson have always been slated for their quality control. But yeah, I mean, PRS. The thing about like Fender and Gibson, and you say they don't innovate, people don't want them to innovate.
Yeah, but
because they come up with robot tuners and stuff.
yeah, strange stuff. But I mean, when people say they were worried that the big boys weren't there, NAMM wasn't going to be the same, I actually think better is not, it's not better or worse. It's just different. There wasn't as many people there. Obviously, it was a 3-day show rather than 4, and there was not as many people. But the two things I would, on my big takeaways, is that the people who were there, it was quality, not quantity. There wasn't the tire kickers that that you get sometimes at shows. People going, what does it do? There wasn't that. You went because you wanted to be there, and everybody was smiling. It was great to be back at a big show with, the stages were there, and it was great to be hanging out at the bars and stuff and doing all the stuff that we love doing. Some people were wearing masks, but the vast majority were not.
Right.
So it was a big old bash, and it was great.
Nice. And so you did a couple of parties, did you? You went to the UA event.
I went to the UA drinks event, which was really nice. It was nice. It was, fairly low key, half decent beer, some finger food stuff. What was hilarious, and I mean, you wouldn't have had a problem, but obviously they've got their new pedals that came out this time round, which look lovely, sound great. And then you had a table of the great and the good of guitar YouTubers passing the guitar around. So Rhett Shaw had a go, and Tim Pierce had a go, and James Santiago, who's the product manager for the pedals and guitar stuff, had a go. And Amanda said, "You can have a go." I went, oh, you're funny. There's no way I was going to pick up a guitar in that room. Not in a million years.
Awesome. Oh, well, that's great though. That's
If you
nice
ate
you
the
went.
drum,
And
not a problem. But
so and you flew back and you sat next to Sir Mick Taylor.
I did. It was quite funny because he said, I recognise you. I said, well, to be fair, I know who you are. So
Nice.
yeah. And you know, it's the night flight, so no one's really talking very much past the first 45 minutes. Everyone goes into headphones on, switch on the noise cancelling, and kind of zombie mode. And if you fall asleep, you're lucky. But it was very nice to chat to Mick and get to know him a little bit. And yeah, it was nice. It was a good flight back. Bit
Nice.
late, like you do. My two big takeaways though from NAMM and California this time round.
Yeah.
Wow, it's got expensive.
Right.
As in, food has just gone through the roof.
It was always expensive.
Yeah, but I mean, it's got obviously our currency plummeting through the floor hasn't helped. But I mean, you were paying
Right,
25, $30 for a Denny's breakfast, which is like 30 quid.
Gee, wow.
But what do you do? What do you do? Not go?
Yeah, I mean, geez,
But
that's bad, isn't it?
I had 2 days working on a new secret source project. I had did a little bit of Antelope stuff. I had a day sort of doing the wandering around, meeting people and catching up with people. I had a little bit of a wander around. To be fair, you had to go through drums, percussion, and woodwind and brass to get to guitars.
Oh
And
God, really?
it was a bit painful, yeah.
Damn, that's the wrong way around, isn't it? No one wants to go through that. It'd be like going through
Um,
baseball.
There were some drums, but I didn't really get a chance to look at much drums.
Right.
A few guitar-y things I did look at. The one thing I did particularly go to look at was the new Fender Rhodes.
Yeah, it's nice. Is it? Jeez, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Oh, right. Okay.
I'm doing the whole
Yeah.
Fender Rhodes.
You possibly need to stand up while you're doing that because it looks like you're something else. Great. Oh, nice. Yeah, you like that, do you? They're quite expensive,
Very
aren't
nice.
they?
Yes,
I sold my Rhodes.
Oh yeah, but oh my god, it sounded good. So I'm sure NAMM questions will come up as we get through. I will do my best to answer any NAMM-age questions as we go along. But if you've got anything specific to ask, I'll do my best. Should we go for it?
Hey, do you know I sold my Rhodes to the drummer from what's Damon Albarn's the cartoon band? What are they called?
The Gorillaz.
Yeah, Gorillaz. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, anyway,
nice.
Yes, let's do some questions. Yes,
here we go. Boom.
Music of Dreamweaver says, I couldn't help but notice that I'm first again. Paul, what draws you to a Telecaster and what didn't you like about the Explorer you played on the Laney video? That's a really good question. A Telecaster, it's a balanced instrument, first of all. You can use it for anything. Exactly the opposite of that Explorer. It's not balanced and you can't use it for everything. It's got this. So that Explorer, James Explorer, it's great. It's a nice guitar and it does what it is. It's got a real sort of focus mid tone that almost sounds. It's got a little bit cocktail sort of sound about it. I don't know what pickups are in there. We did have a look. Is it a 480 and or something? Yeah, it's just not my thing. The shape of it, I don't like the shape. James knows all this. I'm not dissing James. No. Yeah, I don't like the shape, don't like the balance, don't like the tone. I like the neck. The neck was quite nice. It just feels awkward when you play it. Well, Telecaster just fits.
It is a standy uppy rock and roll guitar. It's not for. I'm not sure who's fallen over. I think it might be Paul on his moving to the country, eating a lot of peaches. Who knows? Ooh. Who's fallen over? It's not me. I don't think it's me. Can someone tell me if it's me or it's Paul? I don't know if it's me or Paul. I can't tell. It could be me. It isn't me. Okay. So once again, sorry about that. I thought it was me. It's Paul. Thank you very much. It's Paul. He always blames me. So there. Right, let's dive in. I was just doing a speed test to see if it was me, and it's not me. So there. K Michael P says, howdy folks. So happy for you to see me on today. He's back. Is he back? Is he back? No, he's gone again. There he is.
I'm back. Sorry. I think apologies. I'm waiting for my fiber, my high-speed fiber to be installed. So it's all a bit bomba.
I always assume it's me, but it isn't me this time.
Well, I do normally blame you for even if it is me. So
yes,
right. So where did we get to? Okay,
we've just done Came Uncle P. Yeah.
Nice one. Daniel says, good evening, Rats. Evening, Daniel. It's sunny and warm, 29 degrees in North Carolina. It's always sunny and warm, according to Daniel. James, did you get a chance to check out the F Note drums? What did you think?
I didn't, to be honest. And one of the things that will surprise you is it wasn't sunny and warm in California. It was not hot. It was actually quite chilly. We had I think Friday, there was a couple of lunchtimes that were quite nice, but it was definitely jacket on. It wasn't wander around in shorts and t-shirt, which we were hoping. Wow. No, it was quite chilly. No, I didn't. I didn't get to see many drums because there are so many of the little kind of, the small drum manufacturers. And if you wander around, it was actually quite painful to wander around that bit because everyone was just going blah, 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 blah. And it's like, it's almost pointless to try and look at drums and stuff because the background noise is horrific.
It's horrible. If you haven't been to it, if you haven't been to NAMM, the drum, well, and the guitar place is pretty horrible as well.
The worst I ever had was Music Messa one year. I think it was my first or second year at Messa, where they have the drums and percussion hall. And I went up to the door and I went, I thought, I'm not going in there. I'm just not doing it.
Yeah.
It was awful. It was actually awful. So, yeah. Right. Let's keep going.
Mr. Moxie's in the house. Good evening, everyone. Evening, pet.
All right.
Al says, how are we all doing?
It was good to get a beer with Al at one point. We didn't go out and do as much as we would have liked, probably. I'd like to know how the guitar safari was, and I'd like to know how your mate's gig was in Hollywood. That would be cool to find out. But yes, we did hang out and got a beer and stuff, which was quite nice.
Matthias Sellerpop Rosenquist says, tell us more about Trinnov Nova. What? Is there a new Trinnov?
There's a new Trinnov, and it's also an interface.
Oh,
so
wow.
It allows you to have 3 sets of speakers, all Trinnovized and processed, and it has an audio interface. And it looks really cool. It is quite a lot. I think it's one of the most inexpensive ways to get into Trinnov.
I don't know if you've cut out right.
No, it's you. You're blobbling. It's one of the most inexpensive ways to get into Trinnov. I'm not going to say it again because they heard me.
Oh, how much is it? How much is it?
I don't know entirely, but it is cheaper than like the basic ST2 or what have I got? Or the Demon that's been discontinued now. But say it's also an interface, So it could be
Interesting.
your really, really cool thing. All right, next. Oh yeah, and I will be getting one for review.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Fab, sorry, you're cutting out a bit. I don't know if it's me or not. Apologies, guys. Everything's working normally. Al says still suffering from jet lag badly. Well, there we go.
Yeah, because I didn't.
Mate.
Yeah, I didn't really get into it. I didn't really get into California time, so I'm all right, as if I'm honest.
Okay. Oh, that's a nice guitar. Look at that. I like that.
That's very nice.
Mr. Blue says, evening, James and Paul. New gear day. Just got a Paoletti Nancy Loft HS Telly. I'm guessing that's it. Brilliant guitar. Do you guys have any experience with Paoletti? I've played, funny enough, the last NAMM show I went to, I played some Paolettis, which was 2019.
Yeah.
Yes, really good. Just really good guitars. I don't like some of their over fancy. How can I put this? I don't like some of the Italian-ness of them. I quite like the plainer stuff, but that one there looks lovely. Looks like exactly as it should be.
Nice.
I don't know if I'm cutting out or you're cutting out. This is
no, you're fine. You're all good. You're all good. Carry on.
We're back on.
We are.
Okay,
yeah.
Look, I'm going to choose the next one.
I already have.
Do this. I don't know what.
We're on this one. Chris Williams, evening, Chris. Distant Sun, boom. Evening, everyone. Hope you're well and having a great week, says Distant Sun. Great to see you there, buddy. Digital Guitars UK says, howdy, fellas. Any coughs since coming back from NAMVID, James? I had a cough before I went, and I obviously did test and all that sort of stuff. But no, thus far, I've avoided the Namthrax, which is quite lovely, because normally I do get something on the way back. But yeah, thus far all avoided, which is great. Adventures in Gearland. Gregoire is back on. He says, sorry I'm late. Sidetrack listening to half an hour of pickup magnet chat. Not riveting. Anyway, hope everyone is having an awesome week. We are so far, buddy, and I'll see you next week.
Sorry, guys, if it's me. Apologies. Stick with us. Hopefully it's sorted out.
Yeah.
Paul Sabin says, did you see the Seymour Duncan Bluetooth pickup switch? Good idea or innovation for innovation's sake? So I think we talked about this last week, didn't we?
Me and Greg. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to understand. I don't really understand. I don't think people use that, use all those combinations that much. I think, once you've got it wired up, it's wired up and it's done. You might as well get it wired up how you want it in the first place. Right. But I think it is innovation. It is innovation. And I just, it's a good thing, isn't it, I guess?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. McQuillan's in the house. So I'm sporting a Highland Petrol Company. It's almost like David sponsors the show, isn't it, or something? Because
no, I think it's just we find something we like and we don't mind raving about it. There you go.
Absolutely. Isn't that the truth? Ned says, hello, how's everyone? Did you hear the new Foo Fighters song? Oh no, they came out today. I'm in my studio trying to do something low-key heavy in A-sharp tuning. I'm not distracted, I promise. No, I haven't heard that. Who's on drums? That's what I want to know.
No idea, unless it was done before. No idea, unless it was done before he passed away.
Oh, was it? It was done before he passed away.
Well, I don't know.
Okay. Oh man. Okay, next one.
I have.
Next one.
I have.
Lee's in the hood. He says, I've got some new stuff coming in the next few days. If you fancy another get-together, Mr. D. Yeah, definitely, mate. Come over. Absolutely. I don't know if I'm cutting out or James, you're cutting out, but We'll try and get through this. If it gets,
we'll carry on. Keep going.
am I back? Are you back?
I'm still here.
Oh man, I don't know what's going on.
It's you, buddy. We'll keep.
I think it might be a short one tonight.
Who knows? We're back. We're back. You're back.
Let me see if look. I'm going to move to a different place. I'm going to go downstairs and see if I can start up again. Let me just try something.
Jeff Cook says, "Good morning from Brisbane. It's cool and dark and great sleeping weather. Hence my late arrival." Well, I think you're allowed. I mean, I'm not sure how our Saturday night in California was for you. If anyone joined us for that, that was a hilarious evening. That I thought it might die on its bottom or it might go really well. And actually, it seems to have been really well received. So now we know we can do the craziness of a live show from NAMM. I think that might be fun to do at some other events, things like that, which would be great fun. Thanks to everyone, all the guys and girls who joined us for the live stream and everyone who appeared. It was really good fun. And it was received much better than I expected it to be. And so thank you for everyone who watched the live stream live from Nemarge.
Nice. I think I'm back. I think I'm in business.
I think you are, yes.
I think that's definitely got some better reception going on. Okay, so apologies for everyone. Al says, I was impressed with the Yamaha outdoor stage at NAMM. It's always pretty good, actually, isn't it, that? But remember that stage when the Mini PA near AEC, James, ouch.
You know how you really like an 80s, 90s scooped guitar sound, loads of top, loads of bottom, but nothing in the middle. Imagine a PA like that.
Oh my God, this sounds hideous.
They managed to tune a snare drum for one of the, or I think it was a kick drum or snare. So it was doing, doing. It was awful. I've never. Al and I were sat there having a beer, going, "This is terrible." If they want me to buy it, I mean, the speakers were really narrow and really tiny. It was kind of a cool idea, but not terribly well executed. Yeah. I did actually hear one band on there who sounded quite good, but I think that was more because their engineer was probably quite good rather than the PA was good.
Yeah. Michael Vonhoff says, "Is the Warm Audio Jet Phaser any good?" I haven't heard that, actually. I mean, obviously I know about it, but I haven't actually heard it. Let me turn on some more lights now. Hold on.
I've seen demos from it, and I thought it was quite good. If you like that sort of thing. Sean Halley's video was very good, but to be fair, Sean could probably make most things sound very good because he's a very good guitarist. So
he pretty much could, couldn't he? He pretty much could.
Yes.
Funky Bass UK, evening all. Must have been fun to have Mick Taylor recognise you. I've heard all those 60s rock legends lurk online watching YouTube and Instagram like the rest of us.
It was quite funny.
Hold on a second. I think there's Funky Bass might have got confused with which Mick Taylor.
Not that Mick Taylor. Mick Taylor from TPS. So
pedal show.
Yes.
That's funny though. I like that. Yeah. Easily done.
Right. Basically, mate, they're all saying it's you.
Yes, I should be fine now. So it's all good.
Yep.
Should be good. Mick Lawrence says, "Good evening, gents. Just wondered if you guys have come across Marshall DSL 402 limited edition, and if so, any opinions?" Kate, keep the great bits coming.
Well, DSLs we really like. Generally.
Hold on. The DSL 40. No, we didn't know.
No, we didn't like the DSL 40. We like the 100.
We like the old DSLs and TSLs and that sort of stuff. They sound really good. The little made in wherever they're made, Taiwan, wherever.
Yeah, not so much.
They're not great, to be honest. They're all right. They're all right. I haven't tried the limited edition. Marshall sent us one, and I did a video saying, "Is this like a good a good value Marshall, something like that?" And I tried to be as positive as I could about it.
But it isn't a DSL in the true 100-watt give it the beans nature of the DSL.
I mean, maybe I had a dodgy one. Maybe I had a dodgy one. It didn't sound anything like the the
90s one. the early 2000s one.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it didn't sound like that, unfortunately.
Oh well.
Mr. Moxie, he says too much homebrew, maybe. Very.
I think so.
Could be. John McGuigan, what was your favourite guitar-related product at NAMM, James?
So I didn't see Thomas, but I did see the Blue Guitar X.
Ah.
And to be honest, the guy I spoke to didn't want me to try it because it's still the same firmware as they had at the last version, at the last show.
He didn't want you to try it.
He didn't really want me to try it because when I started talking about stuff and wanting to get hold of it and really put it through his pace, he said, "Yeah, there's quite a lot of it that's not quite where it's supposed to be yet."
Jesus, I mean, how long is it going to take? How long? It's almost like that. It's almost like, you know, it's like that's been promised for too long. Bless him.
I've heard rumors it's because a certain designer is suffering with option paralysis, as in he won't make a decision.
Man, he needs to get that out there.
Yes.
That's dangerous. I mean, that's the problem when one person is in charge.
Yes.
As opposed to a company, a board, as it were.
But the other thing I liked, I really like the new UA pedals. They sound great.
Great.
They sound really, really nice.
Good. And they should.
Yes. So at this point we should go.
Travis, thanks, mate. Very, very kind of you. I think Travis must be new. I don't recognize Travis's name. He says, hello from South Carolina. Have you guys looked at the Laney Lionheart yet? Or have I missed it? The Lionheart, no. We haven't tried the Lionheart. We tried the Ironheart. The Lionheart is more sort of, it's softer voice, isn't it? It's probably more like, I don't know, like a vintage Marshall.
Don't know, but I mean, the Ironheart could be whatever. I think pretty much whatever you decide to do to it. It was pretty varied. I'm guessing there is I mean, the Lionheart is a different thing. It's not Ironheart misspelled.
No. The Lionheart is their okay. The Ironheart is their amp.
Yeah.
And the Lionheart is, I think they're blue. Are they blue?
Oh, right. Yeah, I know. Yeah. They are definitely softer. They're definitely more.
Yeah, it's more vintage voice.
Vintage sounding. Yeah. We haven't tried one, but they haven't reached out post us doing the Ironheart video, so who knows?
I think that might be a good little buy though. I might have a look for one, Travis, and I might buy one. I think if it's anywhere near as good as the Ironheart, which James and myself thought was fantastic, then I think it's probably a good option. So yes, it might be a bit of time, but bear with us and we'll get hold of one, mate.
Cool. Boom.
Anthony G. Oh, he says, that's nice. Look at that.
Does look nice, doesn't it?
He said, I've joined the Telecaster world. Thanks to you, Paul. My pick is a 2017 Custom Shop Closet Classic H-League. That is what I'm talking about. Look at that.
That's beautiful.
And it's anodized scratch plate on it by looks. That
looks very cool. That looks very cool.
Where are you based, Anthony? Yeah, if you ever get rid of that, let me know, because that looks bloody lovely. Martin Collier says that will reach you to live in Southampton, a bit backwards. Pompey, what's that? Martin Collier, that will reach you to. Okay, I see. He's probably said that will teach you to live in Southampton. It's a bit back. I don't live in Southampton.
Well, he's a Portsmouth supporter, Pompey. So
I don't live in Southampton. I think I'm close. Actually, I'm probably closer to Bournemouth.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
No, I live in the New Forest, so it's not Southampton. But I get your point about Pompey and Southampton.
Living in the sticks.
Yeah. Jeff says, I've been thinking about buying a Governor to put in front of the Blues Break ramp. Nice. Would I still have the Blues if I did something like that? I don't think you'd have the Blues anymore. And I don't think you'd have the Blues anymore. You'd be happy.
I think you'd have the Blues because you'd have the Gary Moore rig, wouldn't you?
I think that'd be a great tone.
Very nice.
Yeah. The thing is, can we just go back to Jeff a sec? The concerned about is if Jeff is disappointed with his Blues Breaker. And we might have mentioned this before because someone else, it might have been Jeff before, that was talking about the Blues Breaker amp. You really need to get an attenuator. Oh, actually, unless Jeff has got an attenuator. But yes, stick the governor in front of a Blues Breaker. You'll have a lovely time.
It's going to be monster.
Lovely time. Marlon Carter, for Boss Katana users who would like to add a wah effect, would you recommend getting the Boss expression pedal or an actual wah pedal? That's a really good question. I'm sure I've done a video on that. The Boss wah is actually really good that's in the Katana. The only thing that I would say, like a wah-wah pedal, the action on a wah-wah pedal is very different to an expression pedal.
Yes.
Expression pedals are normally, like wah-wah pedals are really free rocking, while an expression pedal is normally, it has a bit of force to it. Do you know what I mean?
Bit of resistance.
That's the better word. Thanks, James. Yeah. So Mission Engineering do a, I've got one somewhere that I don't use anymore, but yeah, they've got, if you look at the Mission Engineering expression pedals, if you open them up, they're actually Dunlop. They're exactly the same chassis as a Dunlop wah. They even say Dunlop in it.
Right.
So that's a really good shout to get one of them. But the only thing is, if you buy one of them, you might as well buy a wah pedal because that's going to be more expensive than going to buy a Crybaby.
Yeah.
Yep.
Defo.
I would say get both. Get yourself a nice cheap expression pedal and a proper wah, and you'll have a lovely time.
Yep.
Steve says, "Hi guys, if you're on a budget, would you? What do you upgrade? Which is, I'm guessing saying, would you upgrade? Would you do pickups, pots, and caps, wiring? Okay, if you had a budget guitar, what would you upgrade first? I guess he's saying, would you do pickups or pots and caps? I would probably do. Actually, I know what I'd do. I'd listen and decide whether I like the pickups in it. Whether actually unplug the guitar. Do you like the sound of the guitar acoustically? Does it resonate in a way that you like? Now, if you're a guy that does metal, it doesn't really matter. But if you're like James and myself, where you do less distorted stuff, or some clean stuff, if the guitar resonates in a way that you like and you don't like the sound of the guitar when it's plugged in, I would do the pickups. And I would probably do the pickups before the pots, because the pots and the caps, then that's not an expensive job.
And it's also, you're going to get that much more.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing I think pots and caps are going to give you is a cleaner, like on cheap pots, they go dirty quite quick. They go, and they tend to die off quicker. You tend to get the same. I think if you replaced the pots and the pickup selector switch, you'd go, it sounds exactly the same.
Yeah,
it might be more reliable. If you replace the cap, that might be slightly different. But you can go and get a wiring kit from, many of the wiring companies, Monty's
or
Gun Street Wiring. It depends, depends where you're based. And and I would do the pickups first if you're not happy with the pickups.
Boom.
Al says, gig was great. Got to meet and chat with Alice Cooper. Awesome.
Oh.
How awesome is that? Which was cool. Also managed a trip to Norm's. Oh, great. Which involved very scary Uber journey. A story for another day. That sounds brilliant.
So Al said, do you want to come to this gig? And do you want to come to Norm's? And I was like,
mental. You should have done that.
No, I know I should have done, but I did have actual work that I had to do while I was at the show. So I couldn't. And by the time, you know what it's like, the end of walking a show day, you are absolutely wasted.
Yeah.
On the Saturday night, it was really nice, actually. You would have enjoyed this as a hang, Al, as well. Having just done the live NAMM stream, Steve Genowick, myself, Paul Mortimer, and a few other people. Matt Boudreau was with us. Liz Shaw was with us, both of whom from their own stuff. And they'd arranged a kind of meet and greet type thing at one of the bars, not the two normal ones, but one of the quieter bars. And we all headed there. And Audrey was with us, had a few beers. Rex came with us, had a few beers. A few people just turned up. Then we all went our separate ways for dinner, and it was a really nice hang, just to chill out with a couple of beers in a quiet bar away from the main kind of hubbub of either the Marriott or the Hilton.
Hey, I was going to ask, who did the filming of your little live show? You said you called him Julian.
Julian, yeah.
Was it Julian from
Julian Rogers? Yeah.
Oh, so he did it. Oh, awesome. You thought you would have thought that Julian could control a camera a little bit better than what he did. He's quite used to cameras.
Yeah, it was a bit of a kind of faff to try and get things to work, but I think as a proof of concept for next time, we know we can do it.
Yeah, nice.
So it might be fun.
So was Julian there with Pro Tools Expert?
Yes,
production expert. Yeah. Okay, cool, nice. Matthias says, "Thanks, have a go." Nice one. Guy B, evening lads. What was your favourite overdrive pedal? At the moment, I'm using the Keeley Super Fat Mod. Nice one. Favorite overdrive pedal. My favorite overdrive pedal of all time is the Earthquaker Devices Palisades.
Nice. I would say.
Come on, you got to say. Come on, say the.
It's got to be the Blues Driver.
Oh, the Blues Driver. I was thinking the Governor, but yeah, the Blues Driver is fantastic, isn't it?
Blues Driver is I would say is a driver. I would say that the Governor's a distortion.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yes, that's a fair point.
At this point,
Mr. Moxie, thank you, sir. He says, what compression settings would you recommend for a loud, dynamic singing voice? Whisper Vox to Sorry, Chesty, A4s and B4s, for example. Cheers, gent. Wow. A4s and B4s. Jeez.
I think it would depend on what which compressor you were using massively, because obviously you wouldn't set an LA2A up the same way as an 1176.
James and myself, we have very different ways of compressing vocals.
It's so funny. It's so funny.
If you like the sound of the vocals that you get on the Studio Rat songs, that is, I'm trying to think exactly what that is. That is an LA2A slammed. Absolutely slammed. Yeah. It's doing that. It's not ticking it. It's going like that, and then going into a limiter using parallel, like parallel limiting.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like that sort of sound, that's that. James will say.
So I would say, depending on the song and depending on the style of vocal, depending on how I want it to react, I would either do an LA2A or an 1176.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would put an EQ, because I'm gonna run my dynamics into my EQ. Then I'm gonna process for EQ, and then I'm gonna put a something like a tube, a Fairchild afterwards to give me. So tap it on the way in, EQ, tap it on the way out. 2 levels of dynamic processing, job done.
See, very different. Very different. Like James, listen to what I'm saying. You go, I wouldn't do that, and I was to what James saying was, I wouldn't do that. So it's funny. So it's like, but you know, they both work, and it really depends on. But the thing about an LA2A is that it's quite a transparent sounding compressor. So, but I would see this is where James and I differ as well. EQ before the compressor, because for me, and here's the reason for this: I want to get rid of all of the crap. So I'm going to EQ before the compressor, because I don't want the compressor reacting to the crap. So low mids, high mids, or whatever, the compressor will slam. Like if you've got too much low mids in your mix, in the vocal mix, now that low mid, which I want to notch out first, is going to be slamming that compressor. So I want to notch out those frequencies and then compress. But James does it differently, and both ways are right.
Yeah, the only rule is there are no rules.
That's very true.
Boom. All right, let's go there.
Ned says the Foo Fighters haven't yet said the name of the drummer. I've heard it's not Taylor on drums. Wow, but I've no confirmation. Do you know what I mean? In the studio, Dave Grohl, wouldn't you just get Dave Grohl?
Could well have been Dave Grohl, couldn't it?
Yeah,
or let's face it, there was 3 drummers in that band if you include the producer.
So it could be Butch Vig as well. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, all great drummers. Yeah.
Awesome drummers, yeah.
Paul Gardner says the only innovation Fender Gibson need is how to make their high-end guitars more affordable. P.S. Look forward to Wilkinson Tremvid. Just bought myself a second-hand Squire Classic Vibe as a project. Oh yeah,
they're great guitars.
they're really good guitars. But that would be the first thing I would change on that. Go and get one of these Wilkinson R-Trams. Really good, really good. Aristotle Dukas, H&K's Zenterra modeling amp came 4 years later than it was supposed to come. And by that time, Line 6 have flooded the market with their much cheaper products like Beta versus VHS. That's very true. Yeah.
And there are more of those pedal amps coming from, it's not the sole territory of Blue Guitar now.
And that's the danger, isn't it? Because you're so right. It's such a shame. He just needs to get it out there as opposed to tweaking for stuff that probably no one cares about.
And he also says,
and Thomas had his fingers on it. There we go. He did, didn't he? He's a very clever man. Michael Vonderhoff, hope the Jet Phaser is nice since I bought one. Awesome.
I'm sure you love it.
Yeah, you'll have a lovely time. Mick Lawrence says, I've just got a Jet JS400. Nice. And I found it to be a really good guitar. The neck is superb to play, in my humble opinion, especially considering the price. Saw your vid the other day. It's really good, Mick. Really good.
So while we're talking about cheap guitars, I shouldn't say cheap, I should say inexpensive.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about some stuff that's piled up here in a minute. But
yeah.
I got this back today.
Show them the body first. Don't show them the headstock.
Yep, I'm not going to.
James bought PRS.
How beautiful is that?
It's lovely, yeah. Nice PRS, James. Here's a Harley Benton moment.
The irony, of course, is that it cost me more to get it set up and get the nut replaced and get tweaked than it actually did to buy the guitar.
Did it?
But it's phenomenal now.
Is it?
The neck feels like something way more expensive.
Nice.
There's some stuff been tweaked around here. They say the pickup guards don't match. The bridge saddles have clearly been replaced because they're not gold anymore. But it's phenomenal.
Is it awesome?
For 99 quid, 95 quid, then plus the work it took to get it playable.
Which was how much?
130 quid for a new nut and a complete setup.
Cool. It's not cheap, is it?
It was the cutting the nut and all that sort of stuff was the bit that
right
a bit more. But, and apparently there were some electronics tweaks that needed to be done. But I thought that was all right. And say for a guitar that is now, I almost like this one more than I like my actual PRS. But I can't say that too loudly because I want to sell it.
Okay.
But it's a mind blower of a guitar.
Nice.
Really, really cool now.
Nice. Did you manage to sell your Cornford?
Yeah, Cornford's gone.
That did go. Okay, great.
Yeah. Nice. Without sounding too smug, I did quite well.
Brilliant. Good. As you should.
Yeah.
Anthony G, he's in Ontario, Canada. I'll keep it a while. Yes. Good one, mate. Yeah, it looks lovely. Enjoy that. Michael says, as for one, check the Fender tread light. There we go. Nice one.
Yeah, good shout.
William, he says, good evening, Paul and James. Have you guys tried Fuzz Pedal by Cesar Diaz? He was a former tech of Steve Ray Vaughan. Yeah, and many other amp mods and stuff like that. No, I've never tried that.
A friend of mine has got the SRV, an ex-SRV Cesar Diaz modded amp that was played on stage by Domain.
Wow.
And basically one of the biggest mods was just making it louder. Like a lot louder.
Yeah, wow. Michael says expression pedal is multi-purpose. That is true.
That is very true.
I get too, because you can buy expression pedals for next to nothing.
Yeah.
Boss EV30 is a great expression. It really is a great expression, but I wouldn't recommend it for a while. It's too tight.
Yeah.
But it's a really great built like a tank expression pedal. Jeff Cook, rear attenuator. I have 2 Tone King Ironman 2 and an Ox, and everything via the KHE 8x4 amp switcher. The Studio Marshall sound pretty good via the 2x12 greenbacks in the Blues Breaker. Yeah, it's funny you're still not happy with the Blues Breaker then. You've got 2 Tone Kings. Mendel says, evening, joining late today. We'll have to rewatch from the start. Awesome. Well, you're just going to see my internet kicking in and out. So Martin says, sorry, I thought you said you moved to the New Forest area. It's a postcode. Yes, fair enough. It is an SO postcode, but it's not Southampton. Just purchased a 78 Strat Future Classic.
Nice.
Oh, very nice. Lee says, yeah, so he's in SO postcode now a lot. Yep. But that's like saying I was in Guildford before, and I wasn't in Guildford, I was in Cranley. So Tim says, hello from Wisconsin, gent. Hi, Tim. How you doing? Pet, he says he has both the LA and the 1176. Forgot to add that. Yeah, use the LA, mate, for vocals. I like the LA for vocals. James from Lee, he says, engineer mate of mine just took delivery of his custom hand-built Fairchild 670 Mark II. Ooh.
I'd like to know who did the build, because there are a few out there. There's like the Pom Fairchild, the Unfairchild. There's a few sort of custom makers who are doing really nice work.
Isn't the Unfairchild? Isn't that who makes that? Is the guy with the drumbrella?
Yes. Isn't that the guy who's at Dean Street?
No, he's in America. He's with the drumbrella.
Okay, all right. But you know, there are a few, and they are amazing. I mean, the only thing I would say is if it's been done with a modern circuit, it should be okay. But the original circuits were thirsty on valves, so when you're not using it, turn them off, because that's £1,000 worth of valves in there. There's a lot of glass.
There's a lot of glass in those things. Pet says, I always place EQ after compression, EQ before light bulb moment. I'm still feeling my feet with all the tech stuff. Singing in tune is hard enough as it is.
There's no rules. There's no rules though, Pet. What I might do on some songs, I don't do on others, etc., etc. It's really bizarre.
Yeah. It's a Harley band.
Yes,
yeah.
it is. Yes.
Pet says, I forgot to ask you both, how did you get involved with those songwriting retreats you go on? I remember you did a short vid, Paul, about it before. So I've got a company called DWB Music, which is a publishing company and production company, and we do songwriting camps. But they're not like, actually, that's a lie. 99% of them are for pro songwriters, for like signed songwriters. So we go to different songwriting retreats and stuff, and different studios. And there's one that Greg does. So Greg is my partner in DWB, and Greg does one in Spain called
El Songwriter Ratito.
Not that. Yeah, get in contact if you want to go on it. I can get you on it if you want. If you want to go on it. Huh? No, not mid-em. So the wife shouting from upstairs. Where does Greg go on to the songwriting camp in Spain? Las Negras. Thank you. Yeah, Las Negras in Spain, which is like
that the one where you wrote?
Yes,
with Ralph. When quite frankly, you wrote the best of the Studio Rat songs, I think.
Well, that's what happens when you get in the sunshine. So yeah, that was written in Las Negras with that was What If the World Doesn't Turn.
Yeah, with
Ralph Van Manen. Yeah, that was in. Yeah, that we did that in. Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice retreat, that one. I enjoy that because it's in a real sort of remote part. It's sort of a part of Spain that English people don't really go to. And I tell you what, there was a guitar player that died there, went swimming, not at the retreat, obviously.
Right.
A famous guitar. What someone might know in the comments, like like great English guitar player that he basically did journalistic guitar player.
Mhm.
and he went swimming in Las Negras and died apparently.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, very
Let's,
sad.
let's let's not bring that up again.
Yeah, Hollywood actress. Hi both, and I'm finally here. Awesome. I'm getting in late on Wednesday, so I missed the last few weeks. Ah, sorry, mate. Well, you can always catch up. It's all good.
Indeed.
Mick says expensive guitar plus affordable amp, or expensive amp and affordable guitar. Good question.
I think it would be expensive guitar, affordable amp.
I think I'd be the opposite.
Well, it depends. Depends on how, because you can buy, as we are finding out, you can pick up some amazing amps very affordably.
Okay, let's go £2,000 guitar.
Yeah.
£200 amp.
All that's going to be painful. As opposed to a £200 guitar, you can have a really £2,000 amp's going to be a good point.
You can set up a £200 guitar to play quite nicely, and the amp. I think more tone comes out of that amp, but
yeah.
Unless
of course you're pointing at the Laney that I bought, because that was 200 quid.
Yeah, that's great. That thing. That's awesome.
Should read hi Tim, not hi Jim.
He says, hi Tim, I've got relatives in Wisconsin, Janesville. Nice. James Fairchild is a POM.
It is a POM Fairchild. They are amazing, but they are not inexpensive.
No.
And it will be all right, because that's the modern circuit with the modern rectifier valves. So it's not going to fry the valves within 3 minutes. But do make sure you turn it off when you're not using it. Otherwise, it's going to hurt financially to run it. And Jeff Cook says,
Michael Caswell drowned in Spain. Let me just see if that's hold on, let me just see if that's who I think it is. Let me have a look.
I mean, I seem to remember Gary Moore passed away in Spain. They were him and his family were on holiday.
What? Yes, it was me. Yeah, it was Michael Caswell. Yeah. Yeah, he's a great guitar player as well. Such a shame. Yes. What did Gary Moore die from?
Lack of oxygen, I think. I don't really know, but he stopped breathing, and that definitely was a start of it.
Yeah. Hollywood actress went to look at a local Korean telly Light Ash 2008 model. Was really nice, but lacked something, and I didn't feel quite right to me. Should I have bought it? Price was fair, but not a bargain. No, definitely not, mate. If it didn't feel right, don't buy it, because you'll never love it. What's the point in owning something that you're never going to play? No, you did the right thing.
Various people are saying Michael Caswell. Yes, thanks for that. Boom.
Paul Gardner, great amp will make a cheap guitar sound great. Yes,
it's true. Yeah,
very true. Michael says, as for guitar and amps budget, you should ask C6 Steve. That's true. That's very true.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Gardner, following on from my delay reverb chat last week, I think I've settled on the Strymon Flint. Nice. And a keyed Halo. Am I making a mistake? No, you'll have a lovely time with that. That's brilliant.
Definitely not.
Yeah, that'd be great. Nictarius says, nice Katana videos, lads. Thanks, mate. He said, any chance of a shootout between Katana and more affordable tube amp, say a Blues Juno or an AC15? Possibly. I think the only thing is Fender don't send us amps and Vox don't send us amps. So it would have to mean James or myself purchasing one. And
the problem is with those that there is no resale value. As soon as you open the box, take them out, they're half what they were originally. So we're taking a fairly huge financial hit. When we buy the stuff from the auctions, it's with an intention to buy something that's an absolute steal and either keep it or pass it on.
Oh no. Yeah, definitely. It's possibly, but I can almost definitely say that. I mean, I can say that I would probably love the Katana more than a Blues Juno or an AC15. I don't really like those small speakers. If they're 10-inch speakers, I'm not a massive 10-inch speaker fan.
And we've proven time and time again how good the Katana is against much more expensive amps.
Yeah.
Much more.
Yeah. Oh, that someone said the other day we're faking it. It cracked me up.
Okay, fine. Crack on.
Pet says the various members of Guns N' Roses died regularly before and after gigs. It's true. They always put on a great show, though. That's so true.
There was a great drummer film that I watched on the plane on the way over, and I'm guessing it's a Netflix documentary about drumming and drummers. And there was a great bit in it where they showed Matt Sorum, who was like Guns N' Roses' second drummer for the Use Your Illusions and that sort of thing, and then they cut to a bit of Steven Adler, who, quite frankly, I mean, he's up there with levels of rock and roll excess of Joe Walsh.
Oh yeah, he sounds like Joe
Walsh
now.
Yeah, it doesn't. And someone, and they described it. I think Taylor Hawkins described it as a coke stroke.
Coke stroke.
And I was like, wow, that's quite heavy. Obviously, knowing what we now know.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Jeff said Michael Caswell's passing was the reason that I bought Jeff Beck's Strat after thinking about it for a decade. I figured that life is too short to wait. Absolutely. Hollywood says Mick at Mick Defo, a decent amp and a decent pickup for a good tone. A decent expensive guitar always great, especially if it inspires you to play more, but not essential. Very true.
Mm-hmm. Right. At this point, we're an hour in, and we should probably break for the news. However, I have some gear news first.
Go on, then do that.
Ready?
Yes.
Been to see my amp tech today, and
damn, look at that lot. What's the red thing in the basement?
That.
Oh, that's your lead. Sorry, I guess
jack,
it's lead. Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought it looked like a little red pot.
The Fender tube-driven reverb tank, the spring reverb. Obviously, the Ox we know, and the Bassman 70, Blackface.
Really?
Oh my God, this thing's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to sell it through the speakers on the mic on the laptop, but
I think it would sound better without the jazz chords, but turn the reverb up. Just the reverb.
Let me give the reverb some beans. It's epic, this thing. You just want to go
I still can't hear the reverb.
There's plenty of it. Hang on. Give it some more.
Turn the dwell up a little bit for me.
You up?
Turn the dwell up a little bit for me.
Dwell. Yes, some dwell up.
Turn that up. Turn that up. Awesome stuff.
But this thing, I am absolutely in love with. I'm just going to turn the mix down for the thing. I mean, I didn't expect it to be quite as gritty as it can be.
Sounds great.
And yet I can still...
Yeah, it's nice.
This is a keeper. I wasn't sure to start with, but it's an absolute keeper.
Yeah, no, that's a really nice sounding amp. That sounded better than Dan Hawkins' one. It's great, that.
I do think, though, bizarrely, I've popped the red thingy's gone.
Don't worry about that. It's all good. Okay. Go on then.
I've been I got it home this afternoon. I've been playing it. I was like, all I want to do is play it. It's bizarre. Let me just turn it off though, because it is like with many old amps, it is making a lovely smell.
Should we burn that out?
Pardon?
I'm sure we can burn that out.
Yeah, it smells amazing. But yeah, so there'll be a video to follow when Paul next comes over. We've got a whole load of stuff to shoot about now, so it'll be worth coming over during another mega shoot day at some point.
Awesome. Right, quick news then.
Yarp.
Let me do this. Entire screen. That one there. And
Boom.
Right. Okay. So Rev have done a tilt boost with Sean Tubbs signature pedal, featuring a tilt EQ, which is nice.
Everyone said he was at NAMM. I did not see him, sadly.
Awesome guitar player. So yes, I think that looks really good, and it's nice because they've done a boost with something that's a little bit different.
Yeah,
by putting the tilt EQ on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure that I'd ever want to boost the bottom end, so it would always be for me sort of pushing the top end. I would probably just stick it in one position, and it would always be on. But awesome. Can I just say, no. What the hell is that? What are they thinking?
I believe the phrase hideous actually springs to mind.
6.5 grand.
That's mental.
That is just honestly, I'd love to bin that thing. That is horrible, isn't it? That is just absolutely horrible. There's that. This I thought was quite nice. This is the Eastman Juliet LA Celestine blue.
That's very nice.
Nice, isn't it? It's pretty. I'm not sure they're gold foils in there, but they look like gold foils.
Yeah.
It's got like the that looks like it's not, but it looks like the Duesenberg tram they put in there. They are gold foils.
Oh, they are. Okay.
Yeah. No. They're P90s with gold with radiator covers.
What these are? These are P90s that are done to look like gold foils.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So they look like.
I can't see you, by the way.
Of course you can. Yeah. But yeah.
Okay. So Kernam have done another pedal. They brought out their drive pedal. Was it last year or earlier this year? So they brought out their fuzz pedal now.
Right.
Yeah. Blah 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 blah. It's all just another fuzz, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The IK Multimedia X IO1.
We like that.
Yeah. If you're looking for a really simple interface that sounds great, that's built really well, and the drivers are really good, go for that. Now, the next thing, that is what I'm talking about.
I think I prefer the bottom one. The reverse headstock's not doing it for me.
Oh, I like that. I really like that. I think that looks absolutely awesome. So he's got one with gold foils.
Yeah.
It's got the Wilkinson 3-saddle bridge on it. Yes, got one with gold foils and one sort of standard telly setup with the reverse headstock. I think that looks really good.
Not cheap though, are they?
No, 4,300 for the gold foil, and I imagine the other one's the same price as well.
Something similar.
Oh no, 3,800.
Yeah,
3,850 or 4,300. Are they Lola gold foils? Yes, they are Lolas. Yeah. So same as what I've got in my Masterbuilt Strat.
Nice.
Sorry, telly. Masterbuilt telly. ESP Bill Kelly vintage Sunburst. I actually quite like that. This one.
No. It looks like someone's taken a lighter to a plastic guitar and kind of pulled it about and distorted it. No.
The man's got a point. There we go. Icon have brought out a new Doobly.
Now I saw this, and they assured me that it is easier to set up than it used to be. The Icon stuff used to be. I mean, I'm not good when stuff doesn't just work.
No, I'm completely with you. It was a bit of a shit show, wasn't it?
It was hard work.
Yeah.
But they do now have a lot of options and stuff, and lots of different things that can work quite nicely.
Yeah. And lastly, again, no.
If you ever need proof in point that the body work and the pickups and all that don't make a difference.
That to me is just, can you listen, if you're at a gig and someone pulled that out, honestly, I
It's
think
not
I'd have to
doing it
leave.
for me. I bet
I'd
it's
have
not
to
cheap
leave.
though. I bet it's not cheap.
No, but that's absolute. It doesn't even say how much it is. I can't even look at it anymore. That's it. I'm done with that. I'm back.
He certainly is. Right, let's get back into it. I think we were there, weren't we?
Musical Dreamweaver, a good guitar or good amp is a question of whether you want to get good tones, playability, or tone. That being said, there's a lot of good gear for no money these days. It's very true.
Very true.
It's completely different now to how it was when, I'd have a different answer 20 years ago.
Yeah, and if you don't want to spend an absolute truckload of money on new gear, we all know my preferences for second-hand gear.
Yeah. Mick says, thought the Gibson Les Paul tribute. Thoughts on the Gibson Les Paul tribute. Have you ever reviewed one, or have I missed it? No, never reviewed one. I think the only thing about those tributes are they're a bit hit and miss. So some are great and some aren't. I think that's the thing. I wouldn't go and buy one of them blind. I'd have to go and try them out.
Yeah.
Try all the ones in the shop out.
Yep.
Alec Bourne is in the house. He said, "Evening, chaps. Hope all are well." And you, Alec. Hollywood actress, what's your view on stainless steel frets? A must or not really? Or if you were going to regret the guitar, go for stainless or not? Honestly, I love stainless steel frets. I think they're brilliant.
I don't think I have a guitar that's got them.
You haven't got a guitar that's got them,
no. So I can't really comment. But if they make it sound spangy, then that's not a bad thing.
They do. They brighten up the guitar tone. If you've got a dark guitar, I think it's great for that. Cool. Really, I love stainless steel frets. Musical Dreamweaver says, do you guys think that made in the USA guitars will die out? The price tags are through the roof and there is a lot of great cheap alternatives. I don't think they'll ever die out because I think people will always want there'll always be someone that is prepared to pay for. I'm saying that and I'm questioning myself, but I think there's always people that are prepared to pay for quality and for a high-end build. I think they're going to go more and more. I think they're going to be more and more few and far between. But I think there's plenty of dentists out there that want. I think if you've got, I mean, the second-hand market is massive. There's millions of guitars out there.
Well, but we're still buying and selling guitars from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. A 1980 guitar now is very vintage.
Yeah.
Someone said to me the other day, and I went, "Oh my God." I said, "We are now further from 1980 than 1980 was from the Second World War."
Wow. Bonkers.
That's scary when you say it like that.
Yeah.
You think of all these things in proper history, and you go,
yeah,
holy.
Yeah. No, I'm completely with you. It's scary, isn't it? Maestro One, he says, I have a classic vibe HSS Strat, lovely guitar, put iron gear, low output path in the bridge, nice, and a set of Wilkinson Deluxe machine heads on it. Rock solid now, tuning wise for gigging, brilliant, mate.
Those iron gear pickups, say I have absolutely no problem with recommending those. They're the ones that I put in my Epi Sheraton.
Yeah, I think I'm by changing that Wilkinson bridge, I'm more. And I always used to think, modding's just a waste of time and stuff. But yeah, I could be quite into it now. I might just go and buy an old banger car, like an old Cortina, and just chav it up and lower it and stuff, so I can get the modding out my
system.
I wouldn't do it.
No, don't do it. Don't do
it. Keith Moon was a Coke Stroke drummer. He definitely was.
Definitely.
James, you say yarp instead of yes. Is it a reference to a little film called Hot Fuzz?
Yarp. Yes.
Yup.
Yep. I love that film. I saw it on the flight. I think that's probably why. I love the fact that it's Bill Bailey twice as well.
Twice?
Well, he plays he plays twins, isn't he? So you can't tell
Oh, yeah.
when he's It's very funny.
Hollywood says, Paul, which of your Strat style guitars have you owned the longest? That's a good question. Strat style guitar I've owned the longest.
You've had that pink Paisley one for quite a while now.
Under a year.
Under a year.
6 months. 6 months or so. Funny enough, it's a Pete Thorne, sir. I'm trying to think of any other. I know it's really bad. I'm trying to think of all the guitars I've got upstairs. Yes, the Pete Thorne, the Sir Pete Thorne. I've had that the longest. I mean, if you call that an S style.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Dave or Pavo says, sorry, I'm really unbelievable. I can't even talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a problem, mate. Just you can catch up. Excuse the dodgy internet. Paul Gardner says, had a Les Paul traditional with stainless jumbo frets. It was glorious. Sadly, let it go to fund my gas syndrome, but regretted it ever since. Oh, nice one. Yeah, that's a shame.
What's the guitar or the piece of kit that you've let go that you wished you didn't?
I had an early Les Paul historic. That was basically, it was custom shop before their custom shop. And it looked like a 59. It was like a 59 burst. It was unbelievable. Oh no, I've got a few. That and a 1960 something, 64 SG. Mm-hmm. If only I'd have known. But
yeah. Who knew?
Mike Kimby says, "Hi, have you tried DiMarzio DP 2040W virtual solo picker?" I don't even know what that is. To be honest, Mike. I'll have a look. Should we have a quick look as we've got? So what is it? It's right. You're gonna have to read it out to me, James.
DiMarzio DP 240W.
240W H.
No.
I'm going to share the screenage. Hold on.
All right.
Share the screen. Entire screen. Shut up. Okay. Let's have a look. Which one is it? DP. Which one is it? DP 240.
240W.
Here we go. So it looks like a mini humbucker. Is it a mini humbucker?
Yeah, I'm guessing so.
Yeah, it's a vintage mini humbucker. Okay. 4-wire. No, never tried one. I'm not. Do you know? I haven't played many guitars. Many guitars that had mini humbuckers.
I would say most of your guitars are either P90s these days or single coils, aren't they?
Yeah. The only guitar I've got with humbuckers, I mean, depends. So I've got the Sir Pete Thorne. Mm-hmm. That's again full size humbuckers.
Yeah.
And my Masterbuilt.
They've got taps on, haven't they?
Yes. Taps, or what's the other one? Anyway, yeah, I think they're tapped. Yeah.
Yeah.
And my Gretsch has got Filtertrons on it, and again my Masterbuilt Telly's got Filtertrons, or got a Filtertron.
Yeah.
But all my other guitars, I just prefer single coils.
Yeah, nice.
But it looks good. I'm sure it'll be fantastic if that's what that we're going to put in, Mike. Absolutely. Yeah. Rats.
Indeed.
J. Wright, what's the best replacement pickups for an American standard Strat in your opinion?
Set of EMGs. Make it all Dave Gilmour.
Well, if it's a standard Strat, I guess that. Yeah, the only thing I always think about EMGs and Strats is every time I've done it, the scratch plate is never quite fitted afterwards because you have to put the battery in. So you either have to route out just a little bit so the battery fits a bit better, or the scratch plate just sticks up a little bit in one.
True.
But I would say, what would you get? What would I get? I would honestly, I think I would honestly get another set of, just get some Fender Custom Shop, say Fat 50s. I think that's what I would do. Because I really like those Fat 50s. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Why a strap when you have a telly? Exactly. It's good. It's a Shaun of the Dead, another classic. It is. Pickup suggestion for my Squire project. Again, I'm going to say it again. Custom shop Fat 50s.
Yep.
NI is a Wrangle pickup. What's a Wrangle pickup?
No,
It's a Wrangle pickup.
No, it says Wrangler.
Wrangle?
Yeah, Wrangle, yeah.
What's a Wrangle?
Don't know what that means.
Wrangle? I don't know. Maybe it's a language cross or something. Musical Dreamweaver. Had to sell my custom shop Jackson. I went through the tough financial times. I missed that guitar 8 years later. It showed up on the local Craigslist. It now resides on my wall when I'm not playing it. Awesome.
Yay!
Got it back. Pet says, been having an Alison Moyet session. What a voice. Awesome. Saw Alison Moyet live in a pub. She was doing a friend's birthday in Soho.
Mm-hmm.
And I just walked past this pub and just went, I know that voice, and just watched, and she is awesome.
Yes. I saw her as Mama Cass in Chicago.
Oh, awesome. Didn't know she did that. Awesome.
Yes. What a set of pipes, I believe.
Yeah, she's great. Hollywood actress. The worldwide industry is likely making more guitars than ever, plus all the second-hand guitars. Is there too many being made? Or is it just us wanting to own more than two compared to the 50s? That's very true. I think, yeah.
There is, say, certainly in the cheap market, the less expensive end of the market, there are a lot of guitars in the system. There are a lot of guitars. You can ask our friends in Germany about that. They have a massive, massive glut of guitars at the moment. I don't think there's any more high-end guitars being made than there ever has been. But obviously, high-end guitars now are deemed the vintage ones from the 50s and 60s and 70s. Not necessarily 70s necessarily, but you know.
Well, yeah, I personally think since I bought a new house, I can't afford to buy all the guitars I used to buy. So I'm thinking that guitar makers aren't going to be building as many because I'm not there to buy all of them.
All of them. Just do what I do, mate.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Lee says, I sold a Boss analog delay, the purple one, when I was really skint for 10 quid. And he's really skint back in the 90s. I
sold an original Silverface Fender Champ for £20. That is now a £2,000 amp minimum.
Damn.
Moving on.
Thanks a bunch. I'd like to say it's not worth 2,000. They might go for 2,000, but they are not worth £2,000. Those things.
No, but they do go for that.
Wow, yeah. Damaso DP420. I think that's what we looked at, didn't we?
Yeah.
Quick look. Yeah. Oh no, 420. Sorry, I put he said 240. Okay, let's go back. Hold on. DMAR Damasio DP.
Yeah.
420W.
Say when you got it, and I'll add it.
I'm there.
Boom. One of them.
Virtual solos. What is going on here? So it's stacked. It's a stacked hum cancelling doofler.
Right.
So it's a stacked pole piece as opposed to side by side. They're stacked on top of each other.
Right.
He says we've combined the best qualities of the Virtual Vintage Solo and Virtual Vintage Solo Pro. High output and full warm sound. When pushed these qualities even further, the treble response is smooth, the lows are tighter. They always say stuff like that. They just say things they want you to hear. Sort of better treble response, the lows are tighter. You go, oh, well, that sounds perfect for me. You'd have a look at another pickup and say the same thing.
Yeah.
There's more pick attack. Play hard and the sound jumps out of the amp. Play softer and the sound becomes cleaner, quieter. Naturally, there's no hum. Let me have a look at the see how loud it is. Hold on. Specs. Here we go. Oh, that's too much for a single coil for me.
All right.
I mean, I haven't heard it. But for 11.17K that's too much for a Strat. But
Okay.
wrong. Maybe it sounds great. Maybe
Yep.
it sounds great. But I've never tried one. There we go.
Okay. Next.
Hollywood. Paul, when you said the Sir guitar you had the longest, how long is that? A couple of years or longer? Well, no, it's a Strat. It's the S shape that I've had for longest. It's not the guitar that I've had for longest. I've had it for a couple of years, if that actually, maybe a year and a half. Al says, I managed to visit to see the Rev Guitars guy at NAMM, and if you know about the inside Top Gun joke on their live stream, someone put a post up daring anyone to go over and play it out of tune.
If I'd known that, I would have gone, because I can play it out of tune.
Yeah, I did, and the whole standing stitches got it on video. Oh, nice! Let's see that.
Nice.
Yeah, Vince Clarke and some more. Yazoo, definitely. Funky Bass. I remember you guys mentioning once you're not into Tweed amps. My Crank Tweed Deluxe sounds pretty great to my ears. Not really versatile, but that sounds classic. What puts you off them? Just the flubbiness, really. Just like how they haven't got a tight. I can't. I mean, it sounds wrong because loads of people absolutely love them. I'm just not a massive fan of them. But maybe I haven't played them enough. But they're not tight and articulate when you really crank them. Paul Gardner recently bought 2 Eastman guitars, not planned, but both blew my mind. Nice one.
Nice. We're there.
We're there. Awesome.
We've done it.
Let's call it a day then.
Yeah, let's call it a night. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. We have a few cool things coming up that we're sort of planning post NAMM. And we will let you know about those in due course. But for now, from Paul and myself, have a great week. We'll see you next time round for some more Q&A action. But for now, good night.
Cheers, guys.